Welcome to the Verdin Verdict Sports Show. I'm your host, Jacob Verdin. I got my guy, G-Sportz, with me. G, good afternoon. How you feeling, dog?
Feeling good, man. Got a little wet from the rain, but hey, I ain't melting. Ready to go. Let's get it.
Let's get it. Hey, Louisiana weather, bro. Itty lately. Rain, hot as hell. Can't make up its mind. Off and on, off and on. A little bit of shower, a little bit of sunlight. It's like, pick one, dog. Pick a struggle right now. Can't do everything. We're going to be reacting to a couple of topics here, G. We got Texas Tech calling out Brian Kelly. We got the SEC Media Day guest list confirmed. Everybody announces the trio of players that they're going to be bringing alongside their head coach. Angel Reese got to be the cover athlete today. And we got another topic at the end that we're going to wrap it all up with. A little special topic, if you will. Special interest, G. A little bit of a review. We're going to put our guru caps on and talk about CFB 26. What we like, what we don't like. Whole 9 yards. Texas Tech. If you didn't hear about it, this is the gist. Big 12 Media Days are upon us. That's SEC Media Days will be next week. But they get their soapbox moment first. And they've had something be the talk of socials lately. One of the most interesting comments, I put it up on the screen for you. Joey McGuire, head coach at Texas Tech, G says, I'd love to play LSU in a home-and-home series. Now, if you listen to the full context of the comment, it's in response to what Brian Kelly said about playing Big Ten opponents, right? Getting the non-conference scheduling going, not having to put your biggest focal points on the SEC schedule and the big dog that you're going to play in your conference, but taking a trip outside and go and visit your Ohio States, your Michigans, and in this case, your Texas Techs. What do you think about this potential series? And let people know about who the Red Raiders actually are, because they're a little bit of an NIL powerhouse, G. Number 2 transfer portal class. They're throwing together some money, and we talked about oil money in Texas, but hey, they're catching up to the likes of the Longhorns and the Aggies.
Yeah, for sure. Texas Tech got a lot of money. That's why they was able to go out and get the number 2 portal class. When you look at their roster, bro, it's super, super talented. I actually think they have a great, great chance to win the Big 12 this year. What I like to see a home and home with Texas Tech and LSU, I don't know if I'll be too enthused to see that dude. Texas Tech has to show some consistency over the next couple of years that they could be a good program. Because just because you got the best players money could buy, don't mean it's going to translate to the field. We saw that with Texas A&M when they had the number 1 recruiting class because they went and bought all these players and they shit the bed that year. So just because they got the best roster and we spend all that money, don't mean it's going to translate into them being a really good program. But on paper, right? They have one of the most talented rosters in the country. So I don't think Brian Kelly and Scott Woodward should even agree to a home and home yet. Texas Tech has a long way to go at showing that they are worthy of LSU want to do something like that. Because it'll benefit Texas Tech more than it'll benefit LSU.
It would. I agree, especially at this point. I mean, it looks like as of right now, there's a couple of topics I want to talk about. First, comparing it to A&M, I'm going to compare it to Florida State, too. Because Florida State went out and did the same thing, transfer portal overhaul. Maybe I'll throw Ole Miss in there as well. They had the number 1 portal class, and everybody's like, ooh, they're going to be able to turn up. They're going to be able to turn up. And turn up, they did not, G, to put it nicely. Texas Tech, though, they're going dummy in terms of resources, not even just portal classes. This is, I don't know if this is 100% confirmed, G, so I'm going to put that at the beginning of this, but it's rumored that they just gave 5-star offensive tackle Felix Ojo, number 20 recruit in the nation, a 3-year, $5.1 million deal through their revenue share. Gee, 3 years, $5 million. That's like an NFL level contract. If you ask me who you're playing right now in a comparative stance, because they're not a dog, they're not even really a threat to be conference champion. I feel like they're more of an underdog. I mean, we both talked about Texas Tech through the last few months and just what they've been doing in terms of building a roster, but it's not quite there yet. Especially replacing both coordinators, offensive and defensive, having a full overhaul of those staffs. Like they got a long ways to go in terms of building the foundation, but in this era of college football, I feel like it's hard to overlook a team that can pay a prospect $5 million out of your rev share. Like, bro, I think there could be somebody that is a little bit of a competition going forward. What's your thoughts on that contract? And did you hear about that, Mr. Oho?
when you're a school like Texas Tech, you're gonna have to overspend to get some of the top players in the country because
That's true.
you can't get kids to come there based off of your history, your success with the program because they don't have no rich history at
Yeah.
Texas Tech. So money is gonna be the reason why kids go there. Now, again, like I just said earlier, if they show some consistency over the next 2, 3, 4 years that they can be, run the Big 12 and get into the college team playoff, then that narrative could change. But until then, they're gonna have to overspend for some of the top players in the country. That's just what that is.
That's a good point. I mean, that's a hell of a bag coming through. I don't know how that gets passed through the clearinghouse, dog. We're hearing clearinghouse this, clearinghouse that, bro. How is that fair market value? Seems like a little bit of an overstretch to me. Enough of the Big 12 media days, though. Let's move into the SEC media days. This is the trio that the Tigers are rolling in with Weeks, Chris Hilton, Garrett Nussmeier. Just to react to that one quickly, obviously, Nussmeier was a lot, right? I thought Perkins would come. Witt comes in his spot. I feel like that, it makes sense in hindsight, right? Witt's been in the media a lot. And then this is just my take on it, but it's better to have questions more focused on Witt's recovery and just like the defensive impact rather than Harold Perkins coming in. Gee, you know what everybody's going to be asking. How do you feel about the position change? Do you feel like this is the right move for you? Yada, yada, yada. Right was on the wall for that one. But that's just my take on it. And with Chris Hilton, this is the interesting thing. So him and Nussmeier, 4-year seniors, been at LSU every single year. That obviously had a lot to do with it. But I feel like with Chris, too, I mean, if you look at the amount of times he's been in the media with the charity work or with Flage or things like that, he's kind of built himself a brand a little bit. So, I mean, good selections. What's your thoughts on them?
I like the selections. I know we talked about who we wanted to see for SEC Media Day. Chris Hilton was somebody I had a question mark about just because he's an introvert. He's a man of little words. Great personality though, very, very intelligent. So I thought that they would go with somebody that was more comfortable with speaking with the media and more natural. And so maybe Chris Hilton is trying to come out of his shell. Maybe this was a conversation he had with Coach Kelly or Austin Thomas or whoever in that building about, look, you need to start getting in front of this camera. You need to start getting used to talking in front of big crowd. You need to get used to answering questions and preparing yourself for what's to come this season and when you get to the NFL.
Yep.
And I think Chris maybe he's open minded to that, and so I think that might be the reason why he was one of the kids they selected for SEC Media Day. But I hope he's ready to get out of his shell, man, because he does have a really good personality, and like you just talked about, he's doing a great job building his brand. His girl Flage is one of the most polarizing figures in women's basketball. So if he can start coming out of his shell and let people get a sense of who he is as a person, he could take his brand to another level. So I think this could be the start of it.
And if you look at each one of these selections that LSU has, they each have that game breaking ability to be able to be the guy for the Tigers going forward. Nussmeier goes without saying. I mean, if you've been living under a rock, I'll break it down for you shortly, but he's probably the best quarterback in college football. If he's not number one, and if you're going to be extra picky and you're not putting him number two, lowest G, in my opinion, you can put him as 3. So you got a top 3 guy who's going to hear his name called in day 1 of the draft. Move over to Whit Weeks. It's like lightning in the bottle all over again. You saw what Harold Perkins was able to do his freshman year. Whit Weeks does the same thing. Obviously, the injury during the bowl game was going to be a focus, but then move to Chris Hilton. And I mean, yeah, injuries kind of hindered him, kind of prohibited him. But if you had to put a face on the wide receiver room, it's hard to say it's not him. It's not 3 ball. So each different selection, I think, makes it sense. But them being seniors is probably the biggest common factor. I want to ask you about this. Now, I don't want to reach and kind of sound the alarm bells and be like, oh, this is a major problem. But Alabama, Kentucky, A&M, Tennessee, and Mizzou did not select a quarterback. What's your thoughts on that?
Not surprised. Tennessee thought Nico was going to be their quarterback. He ended up asking for all that bread, and he's at UCLA. And I think they're not for sure who their starting quarterback is going to be. We know Alabama. The media came out and said that they're in they have a quarterback battle going over there with Simpson and the kid that transferred from Washington. Missouri, Brady Cook is gone, so I think they're still trying to figure out if their quarterback is going to be the guy. And I don't even know who's projected to be their starter at Missouri. Who was the other school?
Missouri's Bo Prabula is their quarterback, and then the other schools are A&M, Kentucky, and Bama.
A&M, I just think that Marcel Reed, and it's just my personal opinion, I could be wrong. I don't think that they look at Marcel Reed as one of the faces of the program. And I think that's probably the reason why he's not getting invited to SEC Media Day. Can you say Ole Miss?
No. Ole Miss has Lachlan Simmons going. It's Alabama, Kentucky, A&M, Tennessee,
Kentucky.
Michigan.
Kentucky, another one. I don't know who their quarterback gonna be. I know the guy they had last year. I forgot his last name. Started. It was like a long last name. Started with a V. Van something. Uh, he's not there anymore. So I think anytime you got somebody that's coming in as a first year starter, where he wasn't clear cut known to be the guy for the following year, I think you're gonna have some reservations about bringing in an SEC Media Day. You know what I'm saying? I think that's why you see those particular programs not bringing their quarterbacks.
And then they had 4 quarterbacks that were pretty young in terms of, experience, in terms of how much they've been playing for that college. You got 4 sophomores: Lenore Sellers, Arch Manning, DJ Lagway, Austin Simmons, and South Carolina, Texas, Florida, Ole Miss, yada yada yada. Who do you think has the brightest future out of those 4? I think I already know, but I gotta ask the question.
I gotta go with DJ Lagway, bro. I think he has the biggest upside out of all those quarterbacks you just named. When you talk about size, you talk about the natural gifted ability from as far as his arm talent and his athletic ability. When you talk about how cerebral he is and how intelligent he is and how he can uh, process things on the fly. Coach Napier and that staff has raved about how smart he is when you talk about being able to come in as a true freshman and be able to dissect coverages and know what the people and understand protections and things of that nature. Uh, he didn't really struggle in that regard. The thing with DJ Lagway is he just need reps, bro. And the more reps he get, the better you're gonna see. I think DJ Lagway is gonna be probably the best returning starter next year when you talk about quarterbacks in the country. I think he's gonna be somebody that will be a projected #1 pick. I can't wait to see his maturation process this year. And that's not to say that Arch and Lenore Sellers and Austin Simmons won't be good players in college. But I just think DJ Lagway has the biggest upside, bro. I just do. I think he fits the modern day quarterback that what you see in the NFL right now, right?
Yep.
When you talk about mobility and athleticism, the size, the arm strength, right? How he's so even killed. He doesn't get too high. He doesn't get too low, and he's been like that since high school. And I think that plays a big part in why I feel like he has the biggest upside of the sophomore quarterbacks coming back.
What do you think about the fact that Arch Manning's got like a more complete team though with Texas? What are you gonna? What's
Yeah,
your take on that?
yeah, for sure. Ours definitely has a better complete team around him. And there's more stability over there at Texas. But guess what? The NFL don't give a damn about that. The NFL is looking at how can you bring your talent to my franchise and put us in position to be Super Bowl contenders. And when you think about that from that standpoint, you got to look at DJ Lagway, bro. Of course, he got to have some production. Of course, he got to
Yep.
possess that he could lead a team and things of that nature. But I don't think Florida has to go out there and be uh contending for a national championship, so to speak, for people to look at him as the best quarterback amongst these sophomores. As long as he shows that he can process information fast, he can read the defense, he can make all the throws, he could be a good decision maker, and he shows some type of leadership qualities. I think, like I say, he's gonna be the #1 pick in the following draft when it's time when he's draft eligible. So that's just my thought process on it. I think Arch and Austin and Lawrence Severus, you know, I can see all of them being potential first round picks too. When you talk
Yep.
about who's gonna be the best amongst this group, man, DJ Lagway blow me away, bro.
I like Lagway. I like Sellers. I'm putting Arch first just because I know that he's gonna have that prime time spotlight. Like they're gonna be competing for an SEC title, a national title. So I feel like that. I'm not gonna use the word bias, but like people lean more towards those late contenders and like the people that are playing the big games. I want to ask you this about Lenoris and DJ. They're both 6'3", both 240, both super mobile. What do you think? Like, I'm not gonna say what's different about those two players, but like, why would you put the stock on Lagway at Florida over Sellers at South Carolina? Is it location? Is it just you think DJ Lagway is the top guy? Like I want to pick your brain on that.
Yeah, I think Lenore Sellers is more of a freak of nature and more of a threat to run the ball than Lagway. And that's what you fear when you play against South Carolina. You fear Lenoir Sellers running quarterback power and him stiff arming your linebacker or your safety and getting 20, 30 yards and wearing your defense down. I don't think he fears anybody as a passer. Now, he could change my mind when you talk about this upcoming season. But as when you look at him from last year, I don't think he feared anybody. No, I don't think anybody feared him as a thrower of the ball. A lot of his plays came off of RPO. When he got big gains. So when you talk about DJ Lagway, you could go empty. You go run whatever you want for DJ Lagway, and he can make plays, bro. And I think that's what separates the two. Sellers has to show that he's improved as a passer, especially in the intermediate game, being able to make throws in those tight windows, being able to throw in anticipation. Understanding on how to be able to read defenses and when they roll their coverages and sugar their coverages and try to disguise, he gonna have to improve in that area. And I think DJ Lagway is ahead of him when you talk about that kind of stuff. And it's because DJ Lagway is just a very, very intelligent quarterback, bro. He's that kind of quarterback where you don't have to worry about him when you talk about being confused and not being prepared mentally. And that's a big part at the quarterback position. And when you talk about the ability added with that, that's why I gotta give him the nod over Lenore Sellers.
I see. I'm looking at the stats right here. I had something that popped out of my interest. So DJ Lagway had about 107 less passing attempts. Lenoris had 2,500 yards, 18 touchdowns, 7 picks. Rushing, 670 rushing yards, 7 rushing touchdowns. DJ Lagway had 1,900 passing, 12 passing tutties, 9 picks, 100 rushing yards. I thought that he would be.
Yeah, they're not gonna use Lagway the way South Carolina used Lenore Sellers. South Carolina sometimes they gonna come out in double tight and run quarterback lead, run quarterback power. I don't think you're gonna see Florida do that as much. They might do it every blue moon. Napier might switch it up a little bit sometime, but you're not gonna see DJ Lagway having as many rushing attempts as South Carolina doing with Lenore Sellers. It just ain't gonna happen.
Shout out Floby in the chat. He said, "What the hell is going on with Jacob's mic? We got it fixed, Floby. We got it fixed, brother." That's our. That's.
I was wondering it. I was wondering
It
that.
was connected to the main body and everybody in the chat. Floby is the MVP right here, trying to put us on game. Look at that. Oh Lord, he's coming at you. He's saying that he got Lenore Sellers as the highest ceiling in the entire SEC.
Look, he could look. I could be wrong, but based off of last year, I got to go with Lagway.
And then, I am a Lenore Sellers guy, but I wouldn't put the highest ceiling. Like if we're talking about this year, I gotta be honest. I don't feel like making the easy pick, but I just Arch Manning because of where he's gonna play, who he's gonna play, the type of spots that he's gonna be in. And I'm not slighting Lagway because he could probably win 9 games. I just think Florida's in for another 7-5, 8-4 season, and I don't think scouts are gonna kill him for that. I don't think it's all gonna be on him. We saw a lot of years where guys like Will Levis got put into. Rumored to be the top 3, didn't work out to be the top 3, but there's been prospects that have been able to survive that going forward.
Bro, Florida just had a quarterback that went number 1 and he went 7-5.
Yeah,
Anthony Richardson.
Yep.
So that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. It ain't all about how deep they go in the playoffs and how many wins and all of that. They looking at how your game translate to the NFL. And just like I said, in my opinion, when you talk about the modern day quarterback in today's NFL, DJ Lagway fits that mold, bro. He just fits everything that you're looking for. Not to say that Lenore Sellers and Arch Manning and Austin Simmons won't have good careers. I'm not saying that. I'm just talking about what the NFL is looking for. DJ Lagway is prototypical.
Yep. I feel you, G. Let's move on. Talk about the 2K. We got CFB on the release. Now we got 2K on the horizons, G. I think it's August 26th that this is going to come out. But either way, Angel
This
Reese.
just the women's? This the women's and the men's, or just the women's?
So this is 2K, like everything, like the whole 9 yards. They just
Oh,
got a
so they're gonna
special
have both.
WNBA
Okay,
edition. Yeah, they're gonna put the WNBA in it, and you can have 3 different covers. You
they're gonna be
got
fire. They gotta come out with the
She-Wolf.
college game, bro. The college basketball.
The college one, look, that's gonna have me in a bind. I ain't gonna lie to you, because I'm gonna be sitting there. I'm gonna have the dynasty. I'm gonna have the ultimate team. I'm gonna have the damn road to glory. I'm gonna have everything. What's your thoughts on Angel Reese getting the cover? How you feel?
Me personally, I like Angel Reese. I love the Bayou Barbie. I like her personality. I love what she did with women's basketball and how she brought a lot of attention to it. But bro, come on now. Asia Wilson should have been on the cover of 2K, bro. We talking about the best player in the WNBA. We talking about a 3-time WNBA MVP. We
For
talking
sure.
about we talking about a defensive player of the year. We talking about somebody that led the WNBA in blocks multiple years, bro. We talking about an actual beast. Down low, mid-range jumper, it don't matter. She is the face when you talk about the best player of the league, and she should have been on the cover. And then she has the best signature shoe out. Like, I'm gonna get me some Angel Wilsons, bro. I love them shoes. And I never thought I would wear a women's shoe, but I'm damn sure gonna get me some Angel Wilsons. So, and that's no knock to Angel Reese. Shine. But if you really want to be real, Angel Wilson should have been on the cover of this 2K, bro. Don't tell me nothing about no Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark for sure is ascending, and she's on her way to being one of the greats in the league. But we want the best. If you're gonna have the first women's basketball 2K edition, you got to put the best player on there, bro. And that should be Angel Wilson, dog. I'm just sorry. I gotta call a speed a speed.
They've had 4 so far. I think Asia was last year's one. That might be why they're trying to flip up. But if you look at the
Hold
shoes, they
up.
only have 3. What up?
Hold up. Angel Wilson's on the cover of what?
Of 2K25.
When?
Last year. I looked it up, and they had 2K22 was the first year that they put it out. Let me go.
Bro, I did not know that. How the hell they
Yeah.
got by me?
But I think it's just because like you buy the regular game and you could change the cover of it. But when she won with the Aces, they put her winning the or holding the trophy up as the 2K25 cover.
Bro, I never saw that. I never heard that. I
In
don't know how they got by me.
2K22, that was Candace Parker. So that was the first year that they came out with it. But if you look at the signature shoes too, I got a note on this. I find this interesting. So there's only 3 other signature shoes in the WNBA. Brianna Stewart with Puma, Sabrina with Nike, and then Asia Wilson has her Nikes as well. So I want to ask you this. Right now, I think without a shadow of a doubt, Asia Wilson is the face of the WNBA, production-wise, being the most all-around player, doing it all on the court, winning, having the off-the-field success. Isn't she dating Bam Adebayo too? So, I mean, she's got that side of it too. She's got everything. She's all over in the media. Who do you think is going to be, not necessarily the next her, because I feel like I'm limiting it to a guard, but who's going to be kind of put into that spot, being the face?
I mean, Caitlin Clark on her way, bro. She on her way. Caitlin Clark will probably be WNBA MVP. I give if not next year, the following year. Like, I didn't expect her to be this good this fast. Just
Right.
being honest, bro. And when she plays on TV, I try to watch it every chance I get. She's that good, dog, and people are not appreciating her like they should. Like the players did a voting or the top 5 players in the league, she wasn't even in the top 5. That's ridiculous. Like
Right.
if that ain't hating, I don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's clear cut that Caitlin Clark will be the next person that's up to be the face of the league. As if Asia Wilson want to throw the torch to her. I don't know. Asia Wilson's still young now. She got a lot of more years in her prime. So, maybe Caitlin Clark could be second in command when you talk about face of the league.
And I heard that the Caitlin Clark one's on the way too. It's in the works. It's gonna be a Nike shoe. So that
Look.
this is like going to build up to be. I don't want to say like Michael Jordan and Shaq, and like all these big brands trying to rep each different shoe platform or shoe brand, but like this is it's gonna be interesting. You're gonna have Caitlin Clark with Nike.
Angel Reese with Reebok, huh?
Yeah, she was Shaq and Reebok.
Shaq got her. The shoe was terrible.
You ain't with the Reebok, the Shaq Gnosis.
It ain't even about that it's Reebok because I don't care what brand it is. If a shoe look good, I'm gonna wear it. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely wouldn't rock them. That's I'm happy she got a signature shoe. I'm proud of her, and I wanted to get her bag, but that shoe is horrendous. All right,
That shoe is
it's
horrible.
not even in the same stratosphere as them Angel Wilsons, bro. You saw the Angel Wilsons?
Nah, I might have to look them up right now.
Man, they nice, bro. Put them on the screen. Let the viewers see what I see. They nice, bro. I'm getting me some. I might get some teen shoes for my middle school team.
So she got the Nikes, huh?
Yeah.
All right, I see these pink ones right here. These tough. Let's see if I can pop this up for them.
Yeah. They nice, bro. Cause this how you know. This how I know when a shoe nice. Wow, really?
BK. Wait, not yet, BK. What's that? Wow, really? Wait, hold up, y'all. Y'all ain't supposed to see that yet. This is what we talking about. Back to the business. Back to the business.
I don't know who that was, but that wasn't
These
BK.
tough. All right, hold on. We're gonna get to that. These are tough though. These are tough. I like my favorite hoop shoe so far was the Damian Lillard 2. That's weird. Hella throwback. That's what I wore though. I like the grip on the bottom. I mean, I wore Kobe's every now and then, but I didn't have a specific Kobe that I love.
This how I know them Angel Wilsons is a nice looking shoe, and I'm a shoe head. So for all you people that's probably watching, like I'm not a guy that just go off of what everybody else is doing. I really pay attention to the shoe, and I'm into that. And I was at a summer league game, a summer league basketball game, high school, and one of the coaches had him on the sideline. Matter of fact, it's one of my guys, Dylan Anderson. He's the girls' coach at HL Bourgeois. And I'm watching him on the sideline. The shoe just it pop out to you. I'm like, man, what kind of shoes is that? They kind of look like them pennies on a cool. Like it's them. I don't know what pennies is. What you call these? But it was the one with the. I can't even explain. I just know when I see it. But I thought they look kind of like a spin-off version of them pennies from back in the day. So when I walked up close, I'm looking. I'm like, man, what kind of shoe is that? So when the game was over, I was like, dog, what kind of Nikes is that? He was like, that's the Major Wilsons. And I was like, bro, them things is nice. He was like, yeah, son. Like, I had to get them. He said, I don't give a damn they're a girl shoe. I said, I'm getting them. And then I told my middle school basketball team, I was like, man, would y'all wear some girl shoes? They're like, hell no. So then I showed them the shoe, the Angel Wilson shoe. They was like, oh, I'll wear them. I'm like, that's a girl shoe. They're like, oh, we'll wear them. So I like the shoe, bro. Like I said, I'm gonna give me a couple pair.
Coach G getting the drip on. Man, Flo be in here dead. He said, y'all got me crying. What the hell is wrong with Brian Kelly face? Bro, all right, we got it. All right, I'm popping it up. I didn't mean to flash y'all with that out of nowhere. I wanted to put it on Instagram. I saved it for the reaction. I had to get G's reaction to it. So look, we're going to do our college football 26 review, but I'm starting it off with this. I'm playing Road to Glory, dog. I do the whole 9 yards.
You bought
I
it?
commit. Yeah, I bought it. I folded. Yeah, I folded, bro. I had to. But so I get on Road to Glory. First off, they got high school in there. I don't know why they never had high school, why they took it out. I mean, they had it back in the day, but when they brought it back in 25, they didn't add high school, which is a crazy flaw. Anyway, they fixed that. I go NG, and I try it for myself, bro. I try the whole NIL experience. I commit to Dabo Sweeney and Clemson G, and then on signing day, throw that thing to the side, man, put the LSU cap on. I get right, dog. But then I have a conversation with coach, and this coach walk in the room. I'm like, dog, bro, who is that? As crying belly, bro. Like that ain't Brian Kelly. What is that? G, react to me, please. What is this?
Yeah, you gotta do better. Come on, man. You gotta do better. You're not better right here. You gotta be way, way more clever than this.
Bro.
Yeah. Like, I don't expect him to look exactly like Brian Kelly, but god damn, what a gray hair. I don't see no gray hair. The cheekbone structure is horrible. His shoulders is wider than that. They don't sink down.
Bro,
I don't know who this is.
I have no idea.
It looked like he had a stroke on the left side of his face.
Bro, yeah, it looked like Sean Payton. I don't know. It looked more like him
Nah,
than
bro.
Brian Kelly.
You know who he looked like? You know who this looked like? This looked like O'Brien. What's his first name? He used to be the OC for the Patriots. And then he was the head coach for Bill O'Brien. That's what that looked like. He looked like Bill O'Brien.
This is what the first thing I thought of is this can't be it, bro. This can't be Brian Kelly. Y'all must have had to put somebody else on this thing, bro. I couldn't even
maybe EA just they had. I mean, there's a lot of things that went into putting this game together. So maybe this part of it they couldn't get to and actually get a really good image of all the head coaches.
They don't even got the headset, bro. Put the headset on a little visor. Maybe that'll help out. I don't know. But
Yeah,
this one, man,
where's Vaz at?
like we didn't do our due diligence here on this one. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna get your takeaways on the game too. My first takeaways. All right, so I was worried a little bit. I'm like, man, it kind of looked the same. Graphic wise, it kind of looked the same, but it don't play the same. Like I'll be real. The tackling is definitely more tackling animations. Tackling is a lot better. I'll say. Diving tackle sucks still, but I don't know if you found this yet. I feel like the passing game is so overpowered, bro. I had a 70 overall ultimate team. I bring it out head to head, thrap somebody, dog. 50 ball. I'm throwing dig ball, dig ball, dig ball. Like people getting head top all over the place. Crazy push offs, catching it, breaking a tackle, busting off for like a 50-yard touchdown. But reverse it on the other side, DBs drop everything. No picks, no interceptions. Pass game is OP in my opinion. I don't know if you've been feeling that lately, but that's what I think is my biggest takeaway right here. And then, like I said, I got to throw the cow, got to hit them with the yeet. Like, get that shit out of there. Boot up, boot up. I like that part of it too. Did you do Road to Glory yet?
Nah, I haven't got into it yet. I like playing against people. I like the competition of it. So I've been playing a lot of different people. But
Mm-hmm.
one thing I like about it, and people that's watching, I don't know if you got the game or if you about to get the game, but if the DB is running now or a linebacker is running and their head is not turned around, you can't
True.
pick it. You can't pick
True.
it. So I like that. That's very realistic. Now you could like
Yep.
jump up and like hit the ball down, but you can't catch a pick running the opposite direction and then jump up and catch it. Like you can't do
Yeah,
that no more.
because you can't see where the ball's coming. That's
Nah, you
BS.
can't. Yeah, so I like that. Now your user skills got to be nice to be able to take that analog and spin your body around where you can get your head turned around to be able to pick it. It's tough to do, but I've done it. I've done it a few times.
Oh.
And I what else I like? I like it's something else I like. I'm having a brain fart, but so I'm gonna tell you something I don't like. I think they
Okay.
breaking way too many tackles. Like if you
Way
got a
too many.
guy, if you got a guy like Ryan Williams or Jeremiah Smith, dog, these dudes breaking so many tackles, bro. Like Ryan Williams, he not going down on the first tackle majority of the time. Jeremiah Smith, he not going down on the first tackle majority of the time. You better have a gang of jerseys rallying to the ball and go tackle them boys because they are breaking it and they getting out of there. I think that's a little unrealistic. Like, don't get me wrong, Ryan Williams and Jeremiah Smith and Jeremiah Love for Notre Dame, these guys are elite talents. But come on, man, you got these guys breaking tackles off Harold Perkins like he running through his face like a piece of paper. Let's come on now. I want the super ninjas of the game to get their due diligence, but let's not go too far with it. So that's something I don't like. I like the playbook. They expanded the playbooks. So
Mm-hmm.
last year I played with Oklahoma State playbook a lot. That was like one of my favorite playbooks to play with. They even added on to it even more. And it's very, very realistic. I really like how it's very comparable to what you see on Saturdays with the motions, the splits, the just all the different variations of the formations and stuff like that. I really like it. It keeps defenses all balanced. I like that you could sub right when the play's starting. That's something else I like about it. Uh, what else I don't like about it?
Damn kickoffs, dog. That's what I don't like about it. I'm getting scored. I'm kicking the ball off. They get a touchdown on me every damn time.
No, I have an experience. You gotta stay in your lane, man.
Brother, I know. I don't. It's
You gotta
like
stay in your lane.
my guys hit the sideline. They're like, "Shit, we getting a Gatorade. We ain't forming no wall. Nothing is over. We're done."
Oh! I like how they doing the field goals now. Like the meter is kind of is not it doesn't disappear on you, but if you're not really looking, you could miss because it's kind of it's like fading a little bit when you're trying to kick the field goal. So you gotta really be locked in when you're going to kick that field goal, or you will shank that thing. So I like that. I think that's realistic. Field goals shouldn't be easy like that, in my opinion. And I think the only time it really is easy is when you not on one of the hashes. If you on one of them hashes, bro, and you more than 25 yards out, bro, there's a chance you can miss it.
Especially if you're in a damn tough environment. Everything going ham. Everything going crazy.
I like how they added the stunts. Now you can stunt on the D line now. I like that. I like how you could reach the ball out over the
Yeah, you can
plane.
reach for it. That shit is tough.
I like that too.
That is tough.
You got to be careful with that because if you go to reach that ball out, and I'm pressing R1 all D.
You trying to peanut that shit.
They're gonna roll out the back of the end zone, touchback. You know, I mean, no, after the safety, touchback. So yeah, I like it though, bro. I think they did a good job with this game. It's very very addictive. If you don't have NCAA 26, I'm just telling you right now, you're gonna be addicted. I was up till like 3 o'clock in the morning playing.
Did you lose yet? Come on, what's the record? What's the
Yeah,
record?
Jamie Vance.
Ooh.
Me and Jamie be having some heated battles. Right now, he up on me 3-2.
Oh,
He
series
up
ain't
on me
done.
3-2. He
Series
up on
ain't
me
done.
3-2. So as soon as I get out of here, I'm going home, and me and him got to log in. He been texting my phone all morning. Let's go, coach. Let's go.
Force a game 7. Come on, lock in.
Yeah.
It ain't over till
Look,
Sunday.
last college, me and him played 190 games.
Boy.
And guess
Iron
what the record
sharpened
was?
iron.
Guess what the record was?
All right, let's see. Said 190. You won 120 to 70.
No. I was
No?
only I was only one game up on it.
What? It was 500, pretty much.
Yeah, we was like, and it's crazy because, and for you, for the people that's watching that don't know who Jamie Vance is, he played cornerback at USC last year. He went undrafted, but he's going to be in the training camp with the Las Vegas Raiders. Really, really good cornerback. Played for Edna Carr High School, coming out of high school, from New Orleans. Really, really good kid, but he's really good in college. But it was so crazy. Me and his battles, like he'll go on a winning streak where he'll win like 6 in a row on me. Then I go on a winning streak where I win 7 in a row. Then we'll go, we just going back and forth. Like he win one, I win one. It was like a crazy, crazy battle with me and him in that college last year. But I ended up, our last game, I ended up winning, and I ended up having a winning record, up one game. So
you close the series up when I'm done. New game, we're taking over till
yeah,
next.
that was the deal. Like once new college come out, we off 25. So I got a competitive edge on him. So
So the record restart.
so I'm 2-3 against him right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not a bad start. Not a bad start. This
For
man
sure.
said, I got to take a picture of Kelly's face, bro. There you go. The man said he wanted that as his profile pic, dog.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I'm posting this on Instagram after, dog. I ain't never seen nothing like that in my life, bro. Nothing like that. CFB, do better. Simply put, do better. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Got something special brewing for y'all. Y'all stay tuned. That's all I'm gonna say. I ain't gonna tease it. I ain't gonna spoil it. I ain't gonna do nothing. Just stay tuned on the pages in the next couple of days. Yeah, we're going to SEC Media Days next week, G. But we working. We cooking it up in the lab. Chef Harden. Shout out to Houston Rockets. Y'all have a good one. Smash that like button and tune in. That's all I gotta say.